I rise with the intention of getting in some good trouble. I rise with the intention of disrupting the normal business of the United States Senate for as long as I am physically able. And I could not understand, and I violated this rule knowingly, why these issues should be withheld from the public. Now, I appreciate the comments of my colleagues. This is about the closest I'll probably ever have in my life to an I am Spartacus moment. She is terrified of her daughter losing her Medicaid. She's so afraid, she's literally talking openly about going to Canada and asking for asylum there so that her daughter has the health care needs met. That is outrageous. What did we do here, Chuck? You remember this. Excuse me, Senator Schumer, what did we do here? Chuck is okay. We came together and we said, this is a time for Medicaid expansion. Stop listening to the bombastic loudmouths on the radio and television and the internet. To hell with them. According to the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, which I guess barely exists now, 100 million Americans owe $220 billion in medical debt. I am terrified that the current gang of thieves in the White House will tamper with it under the guise of, quote unquote, saving money. Social Security is cut off, I am on the streets. I mean, the child tax credit that was unfortunately not made permanent cut child poverty in America in half. It worked for an entire year. Let's create incredible lies, magnify them on social media, try to spread them with our influencers and everybody. So now people believe that somehow, oh, the president talked about all this money going to transgender mice. That's a lie. Some of these efforts are under court review, but the cumulative impact could be that billions of dollars in cuts to basic research, much of it's disrupting ongoing projects and programs. If you're telling me thousands of people right now, 71 days into the Trump administration, are losing opportunities in the sciences to do research in the most important areas of human endeavor, can't get hired, they will go elsewhere. I'll yield to a question while retaining the floor, and I thank my brother, I thank my friend, who's now stood with me for almost 11 hours. Imagine in our country there are people out there that are sexually assaulting people but are getting away with it because they're targeting immigrants. And if you don't think that hurts American safety, you're wrong. And so the FAA, it was one of the early outrages that they hired people that they then realized they needed and tried to find some way to pull some of them back. This is not a partisan moment, it is a moral moment. This is not a left or right moment, it is a right or wrong moment. An armed attack against one ally would be considered an attack against all. Now that commitment was enshrined in Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty, not just an $880 billion cut, Senator Schumer, but even just a half of that or a quarter of that would cut services that would pull apart their whole lives. Am I better off than I was 71 days ago? Am I better off or worse off? We've got to find a way to do this together. We've got to find a way to put more indivisible into this one nation under God. You have on YouTube, I know, just great details and outline about how the corruption of money in politics is getting worse. I get emotional sometimes because I read a letter and something in it makes me remember somebody I know, or to feel the hurt of constituents begging for help, and it breaks my heart. I'm never going to get into a position where anybody in this country can make me hate another American. Because this is the age where we have to figure out how to live up to those words up there, e pluribus unum. That's the call of our ancestors. Even if Mr. Trump's policies don't cause a recession, they could do long-term damage. Lower immigration will leave the country with a smaller labor force as the native-born population is aging. Bald head up in big picture of you saying New Jersey Hall of Fame. Mark Kelly. Who the heck am I? John Lewis didn't step down. Ella Baker didn't stop. Abraham Joshua Heschel didn't stop. The great Rabbi Joachim Prince didn't stop. To work with our colleagues to find common ground and get really important programs passed that bring resources to families. And it's being clawed back by our president, not with consultation, not with a hearing, not with a discussion of even why.